Hello everyone, and welcome to Talking Over Tea. In today's video, Maddie and I attempted to read for 3 hours every day for a week to challenge ourselves to just read more and really prioritize reading a lot more than we do in our everyday lives. This was a bit more of a challenge than I was expecting, and we hope you enjoy watching us document how our week of reading went.
Some bubble tea and read. I'm about to finish my book. I have like 3 pages left, and so I brought another one.
Do you want to just finish it in here?
Could do that.
Well, anyway, we're going to get tea.
A quick update. I just finished Bravely, and I actually liked it quite a bit. It's kind of weird because it's like Scottish mythology, and so it's like spirits and gods and stuff like that. But other than that, I thought it was really good, and its main focus is about change. I don't know, it's not amazing, but I did like it and I enjoyed reading it. So yeah, that one was pretty good. Amelia is in an online class right now, and I don't have to go to work till 1:30, so I think I'm gonna go make some muffins for breakfast. And yeah, probably not do a whole lot else today except for read.
Alright, so I fully intended to update before this point and share about what I was reading, but I actually ended up finishing the first book that I started for this little challenge that we're doing to read 3 hours a day. So it is actually day 3, and I have not succeeded in doing that either of the 2 days so far. The first day I read for 2 hours, and the next I read for a little bit longer, like 2 hours and 10 minutes or something. Right now I'm at 1 hour and a half, so I should be able to do it because there's still a lot of time left. So I'm gonna share what I read for the first 2 days, which was Vivid by Ashley. I think I know how to pronounce it, but I'm not going to because it's gonna sound really dumb. So this is a fantasy novel about color magic, basically. So there are 2 different kinds of powers that you can have. You can have red or you can have blue, and they do different things. And the main character of this one is going to a school that teaches you how to use these powers, and she starts to find out some interesting things about this other color, yellow, which they have outlawed because of how dangerous it is. And she finds out that a lot of the things she's believing have been wrong. And I liked this book. I think I'd give it like 3.5 stars. It had me interested for quite a bit of it, and I enjoyed the story for the most part. It kind of felt like a lot of books that I've read before, but it just had a lot of plot elements that I've seen in a lot of other books. It was a good story overall, and it kept me pretty interested, and I would actually and I'd be interested in reading the second one, which I think is coming out at some point. The days of the challenge that we've had so far have been really busy. I have had a lot of things going on during the time we've done it, but I've still been able to read quite a bit and have read a lot more than I usually do. I feel like, especially this last semester or just season of life, has been really hard for me to prioritize reading as much as I'd like to, and I've realized like it's actually possible if I really want to, and I think this challenge has really helped me to realize that I really do want to, and will hopefully prioritize it a little bit more.
I'm so tired, but I'm so close to finishing this book. Only got 18 more pages. I think I'm gonna try to finish. Today is the last day of our 1 week challenge, and I wanted to make an update about the books that I've read since I last talked. So I ended up reading Nancy's Mysterious Letter, and I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was okay. It was a really quick read, and it kept me pretty entertained, though I was a little bored by the end. In this book, Nancy got sent a letter by mistake because it was supposed to be sent to another Nancy Drew. So she wanted to find this other Nancy Drew to give her the letter, and it was basically saying that she was going to get an inheritance, and then there was this guy who was trying to marry her to get this inheritance. So anyway, I give this one 3 stars. It was what I expected, and nothing more and nothing less. After that, I read The Dark Unwinding by Sharon Cameron. This was a sort of steampunk, but mainly historical book that followed a girl who was supposed to go find her uncle to put him in an insane asylum, and found out that he was actually a genius inventor who was employing 900 people who had previously been employed in the workhouse. And it's basically her journey to figuring out basically if she wants to lie for them and save them. I gave this 3 stars. It was okay. I feel like it was very obvious what was going to happen. So after that, I
started reading Daughter of Light by Morgan L. Bussey, and I am currently 50 pages in. This has been interesting so far. It's about this girl who was left on a doorstep as a baby and grew up in this village that never really accepted her, and then she develops this thing on her hand, and like when she touches someone, she like sees all of the darkness inside of them, and so the town naturally thinks that she is a witch, and instead of burning her at the stake, they decide to send her away. So she goes to the White City to basically be like a guard to this lady. So that's at where I am right now. I'm honestly not hating it, and I think it'll be pretty good. So that was everything I read and am currently reading, but I feel like I haven't really talked about how reading for 3 hours has gone. I think I've only successfully read for 3 hours twice, which is really disappointing. The other days I've gotten about 2.5 hours in, or somewhere around there. I really wanted to be able to do the 3 hours every day, but I was really happy with what I was able to do, even though I technically kind of failed. It's not really realistic for me to be able to read for 3 hours, but it is realistic for me to be reading a lot more than I am, and I see how I actually want to prioritize it, and there is good reason for doing that because it is such a joy in my life to read books, and I sometimes forget it when life gets busy. So I think that's all for this update. It got a little more rambly than I intended, but I really enjoyed this challenge, and I'm looking forward to reading more than I have in the future.
So I didn't really update much for this video. One of my updates got deleted accidentally, and then I never really made something at the end. So I'm gonna just talk real fast about how much I ended up reading. So the first day, I think Amelia talked about, we had some unforeseen things, and I only ended up reading an hour and 13 minutes. It was a little bit of a disappointing start, but the next day I did get to 3 hours, and every day except for the last day after that, I got at least to 3 hours or over. This challenge was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I don't know why, but 3 hours didn't sound like that much in the beginning, and then I realized that when I just spent pretty much all day reading, it was a lot. So, especially because I was working, it made it really hard, and I did end up pretty much every night reading till past midnight. I still count that, even though it was after the end of the day, but yeah, I was very tired. So I first read Ogre Enchanted by Gail Carson Levine, which is a companion novel to Ella Enchanted. I actually liked that one quite a bit. It's a little weird and not quite as good as Ella Enchanted, but it was still good, and I rated it like 4 stars. Then, yeah, I talked about Bravely, and then I read Mortal Sight by Sandra Fernandez Rhodes. I rated that one 4 stars as well. That one was actually pretty good. It was a book Amelia liked last year. And then I started 3-Act Tragedy, but it didn't get very far in that. I'm actually pretty impressed with how much I read. 3 books in a week is a lot for me, but then after that I was so tired of reading that I barely read anything for like the next couple weeks. So it was a good challenge, but it was really hard, and I probably wouldn't do it again. This challenge was a lot of fun, but a lot of work, and we hope you enjoyed watching us throughout the week. We want to thank you for watching this video, and we will see you in our next one.